Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Our choices matter more than anything else that anyone tells you. Look, it's not genetics. Okay, it's not what grandma and grandpa passed down to you. That's not it. It's not what's been given to you by a bad deck of cards. It doesn't work like that. Your choices, what you've done up to this point, has given you the health that you have right now. And yeah, genetics are a little bit, maybe 5 to 10%, but it's like it gets smaller and smaller the more research we do about it. So we're realizing that really our choices matter, and that is good news for you. The reason that's good news for you is because if you made some really bad choices and now you have diabetes, if you made some really bad choices and you're like 30 pounds overweight, if you really made some bad choices and you're dealing with high blood pressure, guess what? Today can be a brand new day. A brand new day. You can start making new choices, better choices. You can start getting in the right place where you need to go and functioning and getting your body into the place that it needs to be so you can win. Look, your body's amazing. It can recover from so much. You can get stage 4 cancer and recover. Cut half your liver and throw it away. It'll grow it back. You can have a clogged artery and it can unclog. Like, there is so much that the body does on a regular basis to clear it out, to self-regulate, to heal, and to function great. So all you need are the tools and the knowledge, and that's what we want to help you do here on the show. Look, if you haven't got a copy of my book yet, go to myfreehealthbook.com. We're giving a copy of my book away for free. Hardback copy. Who does that? So we're giving that to you for free. Why? Because it's my gift to you. I want to see you thrive. We all here at our show and at our network want to see people really win and win in a great way. I don't want to see you struggle. I don't want to see you barely make it. I don't want to see you deal with sickness and have no energy levels and not be able to be there for your kids and not have the vitality for your spouse and for your loved ones. Like, life is so much more, and you can do that. You just got to have the right tools and the right knowledge. And to be sitting there or sitting in home and struggling, I mean, look, we've all been through unprecedented times, for sure. But it's time to pull up your bootstraps now. It's time to say, you know what? Okay, we're through that. We're gonna, or at least past that at some level. And now it's time to go. It's go time. You got to take care of yourself every single day, making the right choices to do the right things each and every day. Like, that is the key. And once you figure that out, and once you have the right tools to be able to do that, and that's why I want you to start with my book. I'll give it to you. Just go to myfreehealthbook.com. myfreehealthbook.com. Now, I see you calling us. So you can call us here on the show. Let me just tell you. You can call here on the show. Text me. All my social media platforms has my text number on it. You can text me a question. We'll make it part of the show. I may just answer you. We've got our whole team members that are always there to help. Social media, if you're not following me there, you need to. Very important. All of our behind the scenes, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, we hope you follow us anyway, so we can have fun on that. DM me. Send me a little DM, direct message, and I'll be able to answer you there as well. All right, let's get on the phones and go to Julia. Hi, Julia. What's your health challenge?
I cannot have nuts, but I found out that I can have walnuts, and they just got them at the grocery store this week. Things. And Dr. Asa, I said, I ain't going to have a split brain without coconut oil of some kind. But I can't have that. I have food allergies.
Now listen, you and I need to have a come to Jesus meeting here, okay? For the reality of this is that you got food allergies. One of the number one things you can have is coconut oil. Matter of fact, the one thing you should have is coconut oil. The reason is it's antifungal in nature, and it's antibacterial in nature, and it's antiviral in nature. So if you've got food allergies, which has to do with histamine, if you're not breaking your proteins down, you have high levels of histamine, guess what? Coconut oil is going to help reduce that process in every way. Now, the other thing you want to look at is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, organic, fermented, is really, really good to have with your meals. A tablespoon with each meal can make a big difference, because what really happens in this process is your body's not making enough hydrochloric acid in the stomach. And that really becomes the issue. If you're not making enough of the hydrochloric acid in the stomach, you're not going to break your proteins and your fats down, and especially some of the carbohydrates. You won't do that as well. So it's important to make sure to have the right amount. Now, you can do hydrochloric acid in capsules. It's called betaine hydrochloride. Of course, we have that at our website. Just go to our website or get with one of our health coach providers, and they can help you with that. But there's so many things you can do to increase your digestion. Probiotics are really important. Getting enough of those in there, that's going to help. So I would focus in on those sorts of things. Now, having a nut allergy. Listen, 9 times out of 10, peanuts, I understand. But like almonds and macadamia nuts, no. Okay? Unless there's something weird going on, typically you have a histamine issue, meaning that your body's not breaking down proteins well or fats, or there could be a potential gallbladder issue. So can you have food allergies? Yes. But 9 times out of 10, when you do the food allergy test, you already have a high level of histamine in the body. So you take this test, and then the doc tells you, or the nutritionist tells you that you're allergic to like 80 different foods. The body doesn't work like that. We can't have food allergies, but the gut is already inflamed and leaky and not working already. It's not from the nuts. All right? So first things first is follow an anti-inflammatory diet. Key. You've got to get rid of all the inflammation, the histamine, clear the system out. That's the starting point for anyone in this whole deal is to get the gut clear. And the way to do that is to start with the anti-inflammatory diet. I'll give that to you. Just go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. We'll send you a copy of that, and that'll get you started for free. We'll just send it to you for free. Just take it. Hardback copy is my bestseller. But we use that diet. The way I came up with that diet in that book is we used it clinically for years. 15,000 patients, and really had remarkable results. So I would start there, okay, and then you can get into our health club and be a part of more of our community and what's going on. I encourage you to do that, because with allergies like that, I'm sure your doctor's helping you, but it's the things that you do every single day. And it's not just because you live in a certain part of the country that you have allergies, especially when it's like year-round. It's always food-related. So the food allergies, and if you follow the anti-inflammatory diet, which I hope you do, there's 2 things that are going to happen in there. The first thing it's going to do is start you out by cutting out dairy products and wheat products, any kind of bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, those kind of foods. Why? Is that forever? No. But in the beginning, when you're trying to clear out the body of all the inflammation, that does make a tremendous difference. So we want to start there. I know it's discouraging, but the reality is it's going to help you in the long run. Thanks so much for that call. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. One, I want to talk about some foods that actually help make your teeth whiter. So the American Dental Association actually came out with some foods that are beneficial when you eat them on a regular basis that can actually whiten your teeth. Of course, all the toothpaste and things that we have out there now we take them to whiten our teeth to get rid of the coffee stains and the tea stains, right? But we know that there's some natural foods that you can eat on a regular basis that actually will make the teeth white and beautiful. So let's talk about that. Number 1 are sesame seeds. So if you're not using sesame seeds, not just on a sesame seed bun, by the way. That's not what you want to do. But sesame seeds are great. They actually support the kidney in a great way, and they're very supportive with the teeth. So that's 1. Number 2, pineapple. Pineapple has a substance in it called bromelain, and bromelain is an enzyme that goes in and helps to break down your foods in your gut. That's why bromelain is really good at breaking down proteins. If you eat chicken or fish and you eat some pineapple with it, your body's going to break those proteins down a lot better.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Broccoli is the other one. Broccoli is the other big powerhouse for keeping your teeth white. Believe it or not, eating broccoli, raw broccoli especially, on a regular basis will make the teeth whiter. So again, not only is it good for your gut, not only is it good for anti-cancer, guys, not is it only good for lowering your estrogen levels and raising testosterone levels, and yes, it does do that. It's really, really good for your teeth. And, of course, good dental hygiene is very important for our health. The other one are carrots, right? The whole carrot thing we used to see with Bugs Bunny. You ever notice that Bugs Bunny had the 2 big white front teeth? Do you think that was from all the carrots? Of course, he chewed it in the back of his mouth, if you ever noticed. But carrots are really important. And I would always say this, when you eat vegetables like that, if you're wanting these kind of benefits, do it in as raw as possible or just very, very lightly cooked. And you'll get the better benefits out of these in a great way. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to have good dental health, you've got to have, obviously good trips to the dentist, and you want to brush and floss daily and all that sort of thing. But if you can eat foods every single day that help to enhance that, why not? Plus these foods, the foods that are healthy that are going to help your overall dental hygiene, they're going to help your overall gut health in general. So those are a couple things that you want to look at. Make sure to give us a call here on the show. I've got calls there lined up that we're going to jump to here in just a bit. And you can also text me. Remember, we take all these text messages now, and you can DM. Also go to social media, and you can find me, follow me there, and we do anything. Our network, make sure you're on our network and you're watching this on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV. We're everywhere, so we can encourage you, help you, and equip you to go to the next level. Look, so many people are struggling right now with their health. People all the time struggle with things like diabetes and heart disease and cancer and depression. But we want to help you get to the next level with your health in your life. And if you haven't got a free copy of my book, go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and we will send you a copy. Now, there's a text that came in. I have to get to this. Really important. But the text that came in, they didn't give their name, which is fine. But they said, what do you do to lose belly fat? Now, that's a broad question, but I can tell you some basics. Number one is you have to look at the amount of calories that you're taking in for your body type. So there's a whole ratio that you can use, like a certain amount of proteins. We call them macronutrients, proteins, fats, carbohydrates. You have to have the right amount of balance. But remember this, that the proteins are called essential amino acids. They are the building blocks of all of our lean muscle tissue. You have to have lean muscle tissue. The more lean muscle, well, I always say this, muscle is the key to longevity. The more muscle that you have, the more longevity you're going to have, period. From stamina to mobility, the whole 9 yards. The other thing is, that's really important, and this is so vital, is that with muscle, it's all about the nutrition that you're taking in. So that's why the proteins are essential to be able to have that. Now, second is fats, essential fatty acids. Do you know there's no essential carbohydrates at all? They don't use that term at all, and they're not essential and for any kind of building blocks in our body. Now, our body uses them, our brain uses them, okay, and for an athlete, they use them. But for the most part, proteins and fats are the two drivers that makes the body healthy and that will increase your longevity. So in this game, when you're talking about belly fat, you want to maximize your hormones. And how do you maximize like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all of these things? How do you maximize that? Well, the way you maximize it is by eating the right amount of proteins and fats. So for protein, we teach this: 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you take in 150 grams of protein a day. Okay, simple. The other thing is, for fats, you want to do about 0.4 grams per pound of body weight, or per your body weight. So, you just do the math on that, and that gives you the amount of grams of healthy fats, like almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, those kind of fats that you can take in every single day. Now, by doing that, it's going to give you the right building blocks to burn the fat. Look, there is no fad diet. If there was, there wouldn't be 1,000 of them on the bookshelves and people buying them, right? There would be one diet that worked for everybody, and that's all we did. But it's not. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. So I just want you to understand there's some basic concepts and principles. You have to get your hormones functioning well in the body. That is essential, and it really does matter. But it's not about just taking hormones. It's about eating the right kind of foods, exercising, and getting the body to function the way that it was designed to, and getting it to function in the right way. It's not hard. It's kind of rocket science, but not so much. It's just you've got to know the tips and the tricks and the tools. And that's what we want to help you with. That's why getting a copy of my book, go to myfreehealthbook.com. We'll send you a copy. But joining our health club, like our health club is just a group. It's my inner circle, private community, Facebook. But there's other people in there that believe the same way we do, and they've walked in your shoes and can help you along the way. No one can take responsibility for your health but you. So we want to help you along the way. We want to walk with you. We want to help you get there and to make the right choices and decisions for yourself every single day. Now, you can make sure to call us on the show. You can call the number, text us. You can also DM us on social media. However you want to connect with us and be with us, look, we are here and just want to help you along the way, to take you by the hand and help you. Okay. Now, olive oil, I want to talk about that for just a minute. Olive oil is huge. As you know, it's healthy, right? We all know it's healthy. But the thing that we've really got to understand is there's a study that's out right now, and they found that adding 4 tablespoons a day to your diet cuts breast cancer risk, invasive breast cancer, like potentially stage 4 breast cancer, by 68%. Now, that's a staggering number. That's a very high number. It's not like 3%, 10%. 68% is a big deal. Breast cancer, by the way, has increased worldwide by 20% over the last 7 years. It's increased tremendously. And now it's not the highest cancer. Lung cancer is number 1, colon cancer is number 2, but breast is right there in that lineup, and that's a lot. You know, especially being a highest rate of cancer because it's all women that get that for the most part. So think about that for just a minute. Think about that. So 68%, 4 tablespoons a day. Now, the best way to do that is not all at once, and definitely don't cook with it. Okay, this is not cooked olive oil at all. This is like cold pressed, put it over a salad, use it for your dressing. You can pour it over maybe a tablespoon. You know, you want to do that throughout the day. You don't want to do it all at once. But put a tablespoon over your vegetables and mix that up, or put it over a piece of fish or something like that. But add it into your food so it becomes a normal stay that way, rather than just drinking it or whatever. It can be too hard on your gallbladder, can cause contractions of your gallbladder, and that can kind of mess things up, give you gas, give you pains in your stomach. So you want to spread that out throughout the day. But an amazing fat, and the fact that it helps with breast cancer like that is amazing, because our diet in America has gotten so bad. We call it the standard American diet, the SAD diet, but that's become such a diet for so long that it's really been in a situation where it's causing so much ill health, in my opinion, that when you have something as simple as olive oil that you probably have in your cabinet right now, but you're not using it, it's been sitting there forever, and you just cook with it, which is the worst thing to do with it.
If you're looking for increased strength, increased endurance, and better recovery, then look no further than an all-natural nutritional supplement called creatine hydrochloride. Concrete is the brand, and it's the most absorbable form of creatine hydrochloride found today. Now, creatine is not just for athletes. You probably heard that before, but creatine hydrochloride is for the everyday person looking to improve their health. Listen, I started taking creatine in college when I was a strength and conditioning coach at Florida State University, and I've taken it ever since my college years, and it's made a massive difference in my life. Everything in my body, I believe, is functioning better because of creatine. Creatine hydrochloride I've moved over to using Concrete, and it is the best form of creatine on the market. Concrete creatine hydrochloride is available at most Walmart stores and on Walmart.com or any store that carries nutritional supplements. Just make sure to look for Concrete brand creatine hydrochloride and watch your endurance, your strength, and your recovery and your immune system get boosted today.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
And if you want to cook with any of the oils, you always want to use coconut oil, butter, like real butter, not fake stuff, and then grapeseed oil. All of those are the best oils to cook with. They don't break down into a trans fat under heat. Olive oil, once you heat it to a certain point, breaks down and turns into a trans fat, which is a cancer-causing fat. So when you heat it, it can do the opposite of what you're wanting it to do. Okay, so just a little tip there to be helpful. And if you're wondering about supplements, which I get a question like that all the time, the best supplements to use, bar none, are the foundational 4. Now, these are all on my website, of course. I formulated our own foundational 4, but one is a good whole food multivitamin, so you get a little bit of everything that you need. A digestive enzyme to make sure you're breaking your foods down. Most people are breaking down 15, 20, 25% of the food they eat, and they're not breaking it all down. The third is a really good fish oil. We like cod liver oil. It's my favorite because it's got vitamin A and vitamin D with it. And then also probiotics. Probiotics put the good bacteria back in the gut so that your digestion can function effectively, because you're only as healthy as the food you can eat, digest, absorb, assimilate, and eliminate. Listen, I love being with you here on the show. Make sure to reach out to us. If you haven't gone to it yet, get a free copy of my book at myfreehealthbook.com. I'm so glad you're with us today. This show is about you. It's about your health, and it's about your life. Look, whatever you're struggling with, know that if the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is our medicine. It's the choices that we make every single day that really matters more than anything. You can transform your health simply by the choices that you make every day. So we want to help you. I realize that every single person that I know and meet, come in contact with, that calls here on the show, that I see and meet on the street, patients that I've worked with over the years, everybody has a potential on the inside. But rarely does anybody go and scratch the surface to even get near who they were designed to be, what they were designed to be, because it's about becoming the best version of you. That's the key. And it's just time for everybody to finally believe in themselves again. Like, we have to believe again. I want to encourage you that we here are going to help you do that. Every single day, I just want you to dig in with me here on the show, however you reach us, digital podcast, TV, radio, however you reach us and connect with us. Look, we just want to help you to rise and thrive. That's the key. You want to rise and thrive from wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you've been, matters where you're going, right? Doesn't matter about your yesterday, matters about what you're doing today. All right. And just remember, if you haven't got a free copy of my book, get started with that. Like, if you're asking me right now, okay, Doc, where do I start? I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Like, what do I do? What do I do? All right. Get a free copy of my book first. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. Get a free copy of my book and get started there. We'll send it to you for free. It's a hardback copy. It's my bestseller that hit all the list. It's international. It's been amazing, right? Over 1 million copies. So get a copy of my book and let it encourage you, let it help you, let it take you to the next level with your health and with your life. Why? Because you matter. All right, let's talk about our kids for just a minute, because they are important. They're our next generation, and I am a huge fan because I have one. And I've got a real passion for our kids. And the way we feed them as parents, and the way that we teach them, right? But the way we lead by example is even more important. How we lead them and how we set the example for them is really going to set the stage for years to come. So I want to talk about sugar, because I think it's a big topic, and I think our kids are way overloaded with sugar. I think we all may know that. If you're a grandparent, maybe if you're a parent, you tend to give the kids, the candy that they want, right, and overload them with sugar. Well, here's the deal. Okay, they found in the study, they did several studies, researchers looked at 43 obese kids. And now, just to give you a blueprint of what's going on in our world right now, 1 out of 3 of every young person under the age of 11 has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Are you going to say that again? I'm going to say that again. 1 out of 3 of our young people under the age of 11. Let me say that one more time, okay? Yes, this is true. 1 out of 3 of our young people under the age of 11 have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. That's staggering. And it's growing exponentially. It's not getting better. It's getting worse and worse. So what does that mean, and what does that mean for us? It means that we need to really step up as parents, because kids at 11, of course they're going to eat all the candy. Of course all they want is pizza and Coke, sodas and sugary sodas and juices. And of course that's what they want, right? Once you've tasted that once, that's what you want. So as parents, we've got to regulate that, navigate that. There's so many options now. One company for sodas, for example, is Zevia. I've met with the CEO, the founder, their whole team. I'm a huge fan. I drink Zevias on a regular basis. My family uses those. It is amazing, and it's a great alternative to what's out there. It's made with stevia and water, and it's amazing, right? So that's just one little thing. But they make kale potato chips now. Well, they're not potato chips, but they're kale chips. But they're like potato chips, but they're made from kale, and they taste great. Like, seriously, there's so many options now. There are no excuses not to eat healthy, and there's no excuses not to, be able to give your kids options. We have to be able to give our kids options. So in this study, let me get back to the study. I went on my rabbit trail. In this study, 43 obese kids, they found that when they removed sugar from the diet, that their health improved, blood sugar level improved dramatically in 24 hours. What does that mean? It means that kids are so responsive when their bodies are in stress and they have really bad things going on, like blood sugar levels leading to diabetes, that if you just cut the sugar out, meaning the junk sugar, right, out of their diet, even if they have the same amount of calories. So let's say the kid's eating 2,000 calories, and you cut out all the sugar and replace it with potatoes and sweet potatoes. They said this in the study. The child's health will improve dramatically. If they have weight issues, of course they did obese kids in here, they lose all their weight. So the sugar is, the constant sugar over time is wrecking their metabolism. And guess who's to blame for that? Now I'm putting myself on the stand with this. We are, as parents. We are. You don't let the school decide what they're going to eat. You decide. You send them out with what they need. You pack it. Okay? Get up an extra 30 minutes and take the time. Don't just throw things together and put a little snack kit in their bag and tell them to wing it. Don't just give them their, the free school lunch deal, knowing that the food may not be that great, depending on where you go. You be in control of your kids and their health, because the foods matter. Food is our best medicine every single day, every single time. Doesn't matter what you do on a daily basis eating-wise is what's going to happen. That's the kind of body you're going to have. There's no way around that. You become what you eat. It's true, right? My granny taught me that, and it is true. We are what we eat. The foods we put inside of our body become our body every single time. It doesn't change. So I want to encourage you, with your kids are doing sugar, find the substitutes that they can have. Maybe get them on a different path. If they're really obese, maybe get with a physician, the pediatrician, and talk about keto, the keto diet. It's a great place to start, because what happens is it's a great way to break somebody from the sugar addiction, because the foods that you're in the keto diet with taste fantastic, but they don't have really any sugar with it. So like something like Keto Chow is a great thing. I talk about it all the time. I use it myself. It's a meal replacement shake that's got vitamins and minerals in it. That's amazing. They've got like 33 flavors, but it tastes great. That's the key. It tastes like a milkshake to the kids. And so they'll drink it thinking that it tastes amazing, and it's a good way to get them off the sugar so much. I just want to encourage you to go that direction. Our kids really matter. Now, if you haven't given us a call, you can always call us here on the show, or send me a text message. We got our text number out on all the websites, and then you can DM me as well. A direct message works very, very well, and of course we get back to you in a multitude of different ways, but we want to help you go to the next level with your health in your life. Let's get on the phones and talk to Homer. Homer, what is your health challenge, my friend?
I have radiation burn on my prostate. I've been dealing with that for over 10 years now, and want to know if there's anything that can be done, or anything that he suggests I do to help me with this problem.
When it comes to the prostate and the radiation burn, one thing you got to realize, that the body's pretty amazing at healing. So even though you get the burn like that, there can be some permanent damage, yes, but the body's pretty amazing at regenerating areas around it and to regenerate and rebuild. So there's a lot of things you can do to support that process. One is following the anti-inflammatory diet that we know works. So if your eating habits are not that great, I would start there. If you don't have a copy of that, go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and get a free copy. We'll send it to you. Hardback copy. You can get in the diet. You can get started with that and really just get after it, okay? Because there's no magic pill and magic bullet with this. If your body has been to the point and you've had the treatments done and there's been the burn, if you will, then you just got to do things every single day that will support it. Here's one that's really key, though. It's very important. I hope you understand, is go to your doctor and get a blood test, or if they don't do this kind of blood test, it's a fatty acid test. It checks all the different fatty acids. If they're not doing that, I want you to make sure you do it at some level. You got to get a test done for your fatty acids. That is such a key, because your fatty acid levels are going to dictate so much. And with the prostate, they have to be at a good level. If they're not, there's going to be a challenge. So get that done. Make sure your fatty acid levels, specifically your omega-3 fats, are at a high level and they're where they need to be. Because if not, again, not going to be a good thing. So I would encourage you, look at that first. The other thing is check the microbiome. Make sure your gut health is healthy. And with the prostate, there's a lot of great things out there. Like there's saw palmetto, there's pumpkin seed oil that's really, really good for the prostate. But another big one for the kind of regenerating cells and keeping it healthy and not letting it swell, whatever, is progesterone. And it's one of those things that you've got to get blood tested done by your doctor. Have them look at it. But progesterone cream can be used if things are off, and it can help balance out progesterone and estrogen. And in men, typically what happens is we age and get older, the estrogen goes up and progesterone goes down. And that's not a good thing, because when progesterone is low, testosterone gets low, right? So that kind of affects those things. And you're thinking, well, I thought with prostate issues, you want your testosterone down. Not necessarily. It's about the conversion.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Raisa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
There is a test you can do called SHBG, which is sex hormone binding globulin. Okay, the sex hormone binding globulin is a test that you can get done, and it really lays the foundation of how well your body is using testosterone, because the trouble is when the body is producing the testosterone but the cells are not using it. That's where you get into trouble. So you want the SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, you want that to be not high, like low. You don't want it to be high. If it's high, it means it's going in and binding up all the testosterone, and your body can't use it. And then it can affect the prostate. With SHBG being low, it means that the testosterone that is being pushed into the body is being used. That's a good thing. That's something that we want to happen. You want the body to be able to use that in a major way to be able to help. So I would encourage you to really start there so that the body can have everything it needs to function at its peak level. So that's one of my big keys when it comes down to prostate. The other thing is you can, and this is something that's really, really basic and really simple, but believe it or not, they've found that exercise, regular cardiovascular exercise, just 30 minutes a day, about 5 to 6 days a week, can be beneficial because the blood flow that increases to that area can help facilitate a lot of the healing as time goes on. So thanks so much for the call. It's a great question, and it's something that a lot of guys deal with. They really do, and we're seeing it now more than ever with prostate. So that's just something that, it's a challenge. I get it, but there's so much you can do to really get better in the process. Now, we had Cameron send us a question from, Tucson, Arizona, and wanted to know what it could do for bipolar. Okay. So that's a big question. And what do you do for bipolar? Well, there's a couple things. One is you've got to manage your brain chemistry. That's bar none. The best way to do that is lay your foundation. Your fatty acid levels are going to be really important. Remember, the omega-3 fats are what help stabilize the brain chemistry and get it working in the right way. So you want to get a blood test done. Check your levels of fatty acids in the blood. Make sure that they're at a good place. Make sure that they're stable. Make sure they're at a high level. They're not too low. That's a big one. And then also, this is a really big, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, P5P, is important for all neurochemicals, and it gets very, very low. It's really hard to get it from your vegetables. One of the top vegetables for P5P is red bell peppers. I mean, like, who eats red bell peppers every day, right? So you just don't get, a lot of us don't get enough of it. So when you get deficient, it can start affecting the brain chemistry. The other thing that can really help with brain chemistry is getting the gut healthy. If you get the gut healthy, then it can make the right kind of nutrition, which in turn makes the right kind of brain chemistry, which fixes the brain. Okay, so that's kind of the key. Bipolar, though, I will tell you this. I'm telling you that all to say this. Definitely don't self-regulate. Like, the medications that they put you on for bipolar, you have to stay on those until they work with you and take you off. Now, you can do natural things, but you need to run it by your doctor, whoever's got you on the medications, because I don't know, you didn't mention what medications you're on, but those are very strong, and it's nothing that you want to mess around with or play with. Like, those have to be really watched in a big way so you can function and thrive and do well. So I would encourage you, just make sure you stay on track with that with your doctor. These things I'm telling you, if you want to get on the anti-inflammatory diet, that's great. It's a great path. Let them know about it. But just know you got to work hand in hand on this one. Now, I hear a lot about joint pain. People talk about it all the time. I get questions about it all the time. And they say, what do you do? Well, look, here's the deal. The reality is, a lot of times when they say you have arthritis, I mean, it's an inflammation. Itis is nothing but an inflammation. So it just means inflammation of the joint. And a lot of times when you're told this, it's like, okay, your knee hurts or your shoulder hurts or your back hurts or your neck hurts or whatever, but you need something to fix it, right? So you take a pill, you take something to help. The reality is that most of that is temporary. It's not getting to the root cause of the issue, and that's what I want to talk to you about. Getting to the root cause of any kind of joint pain is a big, big deal. Living pain-free is a big deal. So we're going to talk about some tips that will really help when you have joint pain. And that comes in from an email that we had. Martha from Philadelphia says, I work on my feet all day long, and I find that my knees tend to hurt later in the day. What can I do? Okay, so that's a simple, it's not simple, but at the end of the day, it kind of is. When you stand on your, first of all, if you're overweight, you're putting extra pressure on your knees and your joints. They say if you lose just 10 pounds, you take like 40 pounds of pressure off of your knees and your joints. So it's tremendous what weight does to our body when we're not meant to carry it. Like, that's a big deal. So the other part is, and this is super important, is to make sure that you're using the right kind of foods on a regular basis to keep inflammation low in the body. Because remember, it's an inflammation. It's not just a joint deterioration, like it's all breaking down and decrepit. It's the body's inflammation system that is, your body's inflamed. And so that's why the joint tends to hurt. So what I would do first and foremost is, if you're having this pain in your knees, you're standing all day, make sure you look at the kind of shoes that you're wearing. Make sure you've got great shoes, because that does matter. If you have pads that you can stand on at work and it's not just a hard concrete floor, that will make a difference from an ergonomic perspective. The other thing you have to look at is your nutrition, and that's really where it starts. The anti-inflammatory diet is what we start everybody on, because it cuts inflammation from the body in a rapid way in about 20 days. So that's the best place to start. And if you don't have that, you can get a copy of my book, which has it in there for free. I'll send it to you for free. Just go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. We'll send you a copy for free. It's super easy to get, and we'll send it right to your doorstep, and that way you can start. But the anti-inflammatory diet is the place to start. Now, the kinds of foods that really make a difference are your fat foods that are the good fats. Almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, all what we call the healthy fats in the body can make a big difference. So you want to include that in your diet every single day. Fish is really good too, like salmon. On a regular basis, salmon's got high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, and it's known to lower inflammation in the body. So I would start there too. Getting a fatty acid test done to make sure you check the levels of your fatty acids. That's critical for knowing that, especially if you've got a lot of joint pain. Now, there's supplements out there like glucosamine and chondroitin and these others. But I will tell you the two powerhouses that will help your joints more than anything else. Well, three. I'm going to give you three. There's a lot, but I'll give you three. Number one is what's called Amino Active. If you haven't found that yet, Amino Active. You can go to aminoactive.com. It is an enzyme-based supplement that's all natural, that goes in and supports the body in a way that cuts inflammation and helps your joints. I have used that for years, and it makes a huge difference with all the athletic activities and working out that I do. Number two is vitamin D. Get a blood test done for your vitamin D. Know what your vitamin D numbers are. That is absolutely essential. The third is fish oil. Hands down, it's one of the best. Just make sure you get your fatty acid levels tested so you know your levels.
Did you know you could listen to the ASA RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the ASA RX audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.